Hi, my name is Anneke.
And I am Arjen.
And we together are the Gentle Storm. And you are listening to and watching Linea Rock.
Hi Anneke, hi Arjen.
Hi.
Hi.
The Gentle Storm, welcome to Linea Rock and welcome
Thank
to
you.
Milan. So you're here in town because you're playing tonight, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. So
Sure.
First of all, you're together again with a new project, which is Dutch to the Bone. How did the idea for the Gentle Storm came about? And is it maybe Anneke, the gentle part, and Arjen, the storm? In the
That's
project?
what everyone thinks, but she's the rocker here.
Okay.
Really, I'm the boring dude who sits at home and listens to Simon and Garfunkel. And she's like, yeah, rock.
Okay, she's
So
the
I'm not
wild
sure.
one. All right, so how can you introduce the new project to the Italian people and to the people all around the world?
Well, it's we made an album together, and it's very two contrasting albums. So there's like a storm album we call, which is like big and heavy and orchestral. And then there's the gentle album, which is like folky and soft and acoustic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's something, I don't know if it's ever been done before, at least it's something I've never done before. And I wrote the music, Anneke wrote the lyrics. And like you said, it's very Dutch thing, because it's about Dutch history, it's about the 17th century. And we came up with a story together, so.
Musically speaking, the diary varies so much from everything you, Arjen, have done before with a female vocalist, like for instance Abion or Stream of Passion.
I'm glad you say that, because a lot of people, I'm glad.
Plus, there's this idea of the two CDs. It's very weird, as you already said.
Yeah.
How the inspiration, for this idea came? Because I saw that on the internet. On
Right,
YouTube,
yes,
that you
yeah.
have a huge collection of records at home and DVDs.
Oh, yes,
that goes
oh, yes,
to your
yeah,
home
yeah,
studio.
yeah,
So, is there
yeah.
any maybe piece that gave you the inspiration that started, the spark?
Well, we
Stuff
love
is-
both styles, and
Okay.
we both love folky music and we both love rock, and maybe I just couldn't choose. Maybe that's it. I shouldn't say that, but no, it was just a challenge to do the songs in both styles, and inspiration is folk stuff like Jethro Tull. I love that, and the rockier side is more 70s for me, more like Rainbow and that kind of stuff. So
And for you, Anneke?
Well, like Arjen said, we both love both styles. And for me, in my solo career nowadays, I'm all over the place. I do like acoustic things. I do heavy things with other people like Devin Townsend and Arjen. But I also do like my solo stuff is a bit more rocky. And so when he came with this idea, right, like we're doing both, and he said, "Are you sure, Anneke?"
I kept warning her.
Yeah, because the heavy stuff's going to be really like bombastic, over the top. And I said, "Yeah, please, because I like these extremes,
Yeah.
And so that alone was also inspiring to me. And then his songs, of course, and his melodies, and gave me so many ideas for everything. So it was just perfect.
We inspired each other constantly, musically, but also lyrically, and also about the story. It was never a fight like, no, I don't want this, or it was always, let's do this. Oh yeah, and then we can do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we can that.
Yeah.
So it was building all the time.
Okay, so you, Arjen, started, and then Anneke came in the picture, and you work also together on the songs.
Well,
How
there were
did that-
I think I had only 2 or 3 songs when we got in contact. So
So this is a project that you worked all together.
it's
Yes.
very much a collaboration. Yeah.
Okay. During the recording process, lots of musicians were involved this time, and some are unknown names. How did you choose them? And did you do like a research on the internet like you did sometime before
No.
to find and contact them? How did you work on that?
Well, I wanted to, because the acoustic album, I wanted it to be like very exotic with lots of weird instruments that I haven't even heard of, like like a bull roarer or a surbahar or never heard of it before. So I just asked musicians about it because I didn't need like big names to do that, So I asked musicians, do you know someone who plays a didgeridoo, or do you know someone who plays a sitar? And everyone knows everyone, in this world. So yeah, that's the way I got them. So I didn't have to look on the internet.
Okay, and they had to be Dutch or.
Well, there's one Australian guy actually who plays Irish bouzouki. So there you go, on the Dutch album.
All right, fantastic.
But yeah, it was cool that it's a very genuine project. We are Dutch, so we'll give you Dutch. Just our language is horrible, so we sing in English.
But there are some Dutch lyrics here and there, which I love. Yeah, it's great.
I have a question about it, but concerning the lyrics, the concept, as you already said, is very particular, like a bound to Holland. Don't you fear that its appeal could be limited internationally in a sense?
No, I think we introduce people to this.
On the contrary.
And I think people will find out, okay, so Rembrandt is Dutch, because he's an amazing painter.
Yeah.
And maybe people see that and think like, okay, so.
And of course, everybody knows Amsterdam and has certain image about it and feeling about it. And we really talk about this city, for instance, in one particular song. It's all about Amsterdam and the city and how it's growing. And so we, although we are not very nationalistic or proud of our country, there are such beautiful things about it. And then we kind of sing about it and tell about it. And that's really nice. And that's particularly nice for people who don't live in Holland, I think.
So there's more than, the things that Amsterdam is well known for. That's your message.
No, we talk about other things.
It's not about drugs and hookers, no.
Fantastic. All right. To present the album, you had a great lyric video of Endless Sea, which bring us to the age of the concept. Those lyrics sound like a love letter to us. Was that the precise intention?
It's exactly what it is. Yes, it is a love letter.
Okay. It is. And which was the spark here?
Anneke, of course.
Okay. Holland in general. Okay.
Yeah, and the story, when we came up with the story and the concept of the album, I said immediately, it should be a love story about two people, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, that's cool, but it should be dramatic and there should be stuff happening. And then we came on, this era and the sailing letters. It's all about two people in the 17th century writing letters to each other. One is at sea, one is at home. And so that's, we just talk about that. And it's like, it's full of love and missing and wanting each other. And about daily life, about the city of Amsterdam, about lots of things. So it's very, complete, this whole story.
The fact to include some sentences in Dutch language, was that the intention to make it a stronger tribute, or it's simply musically they fit good?
Well, it's basically the songs where the guy is in a ship and he's fighting a storm. So he's aboard this Dutch ship called the Merchant, which is really a ship that sailed out in 1666.
Like all the details are really, really genuine.
Right.
So I was imagining,
like in a movie.
Right? Yeah. So I was imagining when I wrote those lyrics that it's a Dutch ship and a Dutch crew. So they must be. So we just Googled for weird Dutch nautical expressions. From the 17th century.
I didn't know about them. There was really old-fashioned, the choir sings ras, which is something like
fast,
quickly, let's go.
Quickly, but it's not a word we would use now.
No, it's like nobody knows it so, but now we and the band and everybody who knows this, we just start using it again.
It's
so
just
cool.
Ras, and you hear this big choir, because we had a 20-people choir. Doing that, it's just cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Why now? Why at this point of your career and of your life you felt the need to do something like this? To your
Oh, there
country?
was no plan at all.
Okay.
No, I never planned. I don't know. I just
And then the timing is perfect.
yeah,
If there's no
right.
plan
Yeah,
and we just come
yeah.
together and then it works out.
It's just inspiration and serendipity, I must say, because I was thinking of Anneke, and she contacted me. So there you go.
All
That
right.
was
That
Good
was
energy.
destiny.
yes.
Okay. And how long did it take to open and close the diary from day one to the end?
A year?
A year.
Wow,
Yes,
long.
yeah. It was
process.
long. It was a long process. It was especially the folky album, the gentle album,
Yeah.
that took a lot of work with all the musicians and all the instruments and stuff. So yeah, it was a long job.
So you didn't want to release it if it wasn't perfect?
Oh no, I'm a
Okay.
horrible perfectionist. It's it's
Okay.
terrible. I wish it were different, but
Oh.
it had to be perfect.
That's okay like this.
Okay.
And what about the toughest moment during the process? Was it more a matter, of art and concept, the toughest part, or maybe arranging the performance was more complicated?
Well, we got this question before, and we were like wondering, were there any tough parts?
Not really.
I don't think so.
Usually, we had this really good working. Like he said, we inspired each other, and then I would come to the studio, and we had all these ideas. So everything was like really fast, kind of, and flowing.
yeah.
But sometimes it's more the production
Yeah.
and getting things printed
That's
in
it,
time and doing emailing or the record company or things like that are if everything goes well, are more of a problem than the whole
Yeah, because
creative
recording
thing.
her was 5 days, because
And we
it's so
took our
fast
time.
recording with her.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of spontaneous shit happening then. Let's try it this way, let's do this, and that's cool.
So
Yeah.
the musicians involved also had the chance to give their imprint.
Always.
Okay.
You get a better result, They're
Alright.
better at their instrument than I am. So I always tell them like, hey, this is my idea, but please, make it your own.
All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Which goes for Anneke too, If there's like a melody in a song, please, adapt it to your voice.
So tonight in Milan, which is 25th February 2015, you're gonna play at the Lo-Fi in Milano, our town, and the album is not released yet. Is it in fact coming out in 1 month from now, on the 23rd of March, on Inside Out? Isn't it tricky a bit, to do some shows before the release of the record? What's the main risks in occasions like this?
I don't think there's a risk. I think we warm up the people. And these acoustic versions, we do only, I think, 3 songs of The Gentle Storm. We do lots of Arjen classics. We do lots of things. But I think these are so different from the album that people will have to check out the album as well as,
Anyway, they can already pre-order it.
That's
There's
true,
a
it's on
shameless
pre-order.
plug here.
Oh my God, yeah. We're on the
So
radio, we have
timing
to
is
do
good.
So you're not just doing Gentle Storm stuff?
No,
You
no,
said
no,
that
no,
The set
no,
list
no.
will be various, and
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
some cover versions.
Yeah.
Any
Right, yeah.
surprises that you can give any anticipation about? Of course, this interview will
We-
be released after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, surprises are gone because they put the set list on YouTube,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think you have special websites now with set lists. So
Yeah.
surprises will be gone. And
And do you have a fixed set list, or
Yeah, we do.
during the night?
We have a fixed set list of songs, but every night we have different stories to tell.
Okay.
So that's cool. And always when doing the acoustic shows, you have more contact with the audience, because in between the songs we just tell something about the recordings or the song or whatever, or just something. If people talk to us, we'll get involved, And it's I like that about acoustic shows, because it's every day it's a surprise what's going to happen. Yeah.
Depends also on the crowd.
Yeah.
very.
And I know
much
the
so.
Italian crowd is
Very
loud,
loud,
and
very
it's,
loud, yeah.
so it's really cool.
Are you gonna do a full tour as the Gentle Storm right after? Not acoustic, but I mean.
Yeah. Actually, I have formed a band. As you may know, Arjen is not touring much. He is very
Not
much
touring at all.
At all. This is actually a miracle that he's doing this
Yes.
acoustic run. But after that, he is back into the studio, and I will go out with a heavy band. I formed like a true metal band for this, occasion, and we toured throughout 2015 everywhere with Gentle Storm, or me playing the Gentle Storm, but also with some gathering classics. We do Arjen songs, we do Devin Townsend songs. So the focal point is like the heavy part of the Gentle Storm album, and we put together amazing band with people with players from Stream of Passion and of After
Ariel.
Forever, and and Arjen players like Ed Warby
A
on
lot
drums.
of people who also play on the album, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That makes it more real.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Why Arjen you don't like to tour?
it's a big list. Big list. It's the traveling. It's the back pain, and it's the not sleeping, and it's stage fright, which I
All right.
unfortunately
A
have.
mix, a combination
A combination of many things. Yeah.
of many things. And it always been like this for you?
No. When I was young, it was. It was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yeah. And it was fun, when you're 20 and you're chasing all the girls and shit.
Okay.
But at some point, it got old for me, and I couldn't wait to get back in the studio, and create stuff. I'm more of a creator than a performer, and she's the other way around. So there's.
I'm a recreator.
Yeah.
So Anneke, you also collaborated to the projects of another genius, Devin Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
How is it different to work with Devin and Arjen?
Actually, there's a lot of similarities. Of course, they're both great guys, and they make this fantastic music. I would say the big difference is, like Arjen already told you, he lets his people in the studio, his performers, really, he gives them a creative freedom, which is very nice. And Devin is somebody who has exactly in his head what he wants, which notes you want to sing, and which is great also because he comes up with fantastic vocal lines for me always. So, but that is a big difference. Like, and Devin is like a train, like da 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 da, do this, and then he comes up with this fantastic productions. And Arjen is more like laid back and says, okay, can you try this? And here you are free to do whatever. And here maybe something like this. And so there's a lot more back and forth. I would say that's the biggest difference in working. Mm-mm.
And they're both the best.
Oh my God, yes. They're both the
Thank
best.
you.
Yeah, totally.
I'm a big Devin Townsend fan too.
And Anneke, is there anybody in the music world you would damn like to collaborate with?
Oh yeah, I have my little wish list because of course I've worked with so many really true great artists, but if I had a dream, it would be like a duet with Mike Patton, for instance. That was my big dream, but I just don't dare. I know people who know him, so I'm already one handshake away, but I don't have the guts to ask him. But one day I will ask him.
Well, you can do it now.
Mike, will you do a duet with me?
And while you're at it, just sing on my Arjen album too, please.
Okay, I'm sure he will reply to this. So Arjen, you've always been very active. Music is your life.
Yes.
And it seems like every new project is a goal for you, but also a new start, a new beginning, like a new starting point, pushing you to the next step.
Yes.
Above the limits.
Yes.
Is that spirit that keeps your motivation on?
Yeah, I need that challenge. I would hate to repeat myself.
Okay.
Be very boring for me, and it would be boring for the people. Every new project I do is like a contrast to the one before.
And what you're working on now, after the Gentle Storm, what would be the next step?
It's too early. I'm
It's
still
too early?
all into this project, and we're doing
Okay.
promotion, and we're doing this tour. And then I call it the black hole, which is like the period without any ideas. It's terrible. But then slowly these little ideas come in. And of course, I don't want this to be a one-off thing, So if this is a success, I would love to do another one, So because we have a band, there's a full band. So
It's a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thing. So if it works,
And we already have some ideas, like maybe we can do this, we can go here.
But we're
But
not
he
gonna
said,
tell you.
yeah. But he said, Arjen said, it should be about aliens again. So we're thinking about part
Yeah.
2.
And will you stick to the double CD format?
I don't know. Well, you could of course do something heavy and then something different than folky. That's cool. I think. Well, let's see
That's
if
a
it
good
works.
idea.
Yeah. Let's see what the people say. You know, if the people say they all like this one and forget about the other one.
Okay.
Then yeah.
We'll
And
oblige.
for you, Anneke, what's in the can? I mean, the tour, of course,
Mhm.
but do you have already some ideas of what's happening next?
Yes, I always have some ideas. Of course, the Gentle Storm is my main focus. Last year, I did so many projects and things, and that was really great. But I'm really happy to focus on like one thing, and also because it deserves all the attention and all the efforts. And I'm working on something different, with classical music, but that's for 2016. But I always have ideas, and I was working slowly on something, but that will come in later. And I have some ideas for after that, and we have some ideas for a follow-up. So yeah, tons of ideas. But first,
The
rocking
tour.
out with the Gentle
And
Storm.
do you have in mind any particular, for the performance, for the tour, and any particular ideas for the set and the show?
Well, the main idea is that it's going to be heavy, and because also for me in my solo career, I never did like a really heavy album after the gathering, because I just don't write. Although I love it, I don't write myself these heavy songs. So with the Gentle Storm, the Storm album, is for me it's great to go out with that and perform that. So I wanted to make the focus on the heavy show. And then we do some gatherings, some Devon Townsend, some Arjen classics, but all the heavy stuff. So that's really the main focus, and that's why we have the metal players as well.
There will be any videos or any?
We do have some visual stuff, but we're still working on it. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you have to check it out when it comes to your town. So
Absolutely.
you have to go and
yes.
if you have to convince the people to buy the Gentle Storm double CD, in just 3 words, what would you say?
Adventurous,
Surprising.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the invitation. So thanks very much, guys, for
You
your
too.
time.
Thank you.
Enjoy the show tonight, and hope to
Thanks.
have you back soon in Milan and at Linea Rock.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Ciao.